The Coach Pete Richardson Show, hosted by Clarence Buggs and Southern University head football coach Pete Richardson, featuring all the excitement of the Southern University football program. Brought to you by Acadian True Value Hardware, SU Jags Online, Casino Rouge, Capital Transportation Corporation, the Clayton Law Firm, Bank One, Baton Rouge Coca-Cola, and Agnes Andrews Allstate Insurance.
Enjoy the moments that a new day brings. Everyone in the world has a song to sing. Live every day, let it sing. Enjoy. So please, all around the world, have a Coke and enjoy.
Even in good times, the needs of Louisiana's communities don't disappear, and sometimes their challenges can seem overwhelming. That's why Bank One Louisiana contributes more than $10,000 a day to education, medical research, the arts, and countless charitable organizations across our state. And it's why our employees devote thousands of hours to causes they believe in. We do it because some things just can't be done alone, and we think it's important to help restore the balance.
Hello and welcome to week 11 of the Coach Pete Richardson Show. We are on location at the Fox and Hound Pub and Grill on Corporate Boulevard. Clarence Buggs along with the coach, Pete Richardson. Coach, 99 points put on the board, good for the fans, bad for the coaches.
Well, it's tough on the heart when you're out there coaching and see that many points go up on the board, but I knew that they had a high-powered offense and we were scoring, and so it was a very exciting game for the fans.
Speaking of scoring, we've got a ton of highlights, so let's jump straight into it. Coach, third play of the game, Terrence Levy, Devin Lewis, 71 yards, you're up 7-0.
Well, it's a play-action pass into the line, and we knew that the corners would bite on that, and Devin got in behind him, and once he caught it clean, I knew they were going to have a tough time catching him.
Justin Mattingly adds the point after, 7-0 at that point. We move now 3 possessions later, 2nd and 1 from the 37, Quinn Gray to Jockway Nunley, a connection we'd hear about most of the night.
Well, it was a fine play to Jock. Jock is an excellent receiver. I think he's more of a running back once he gets his hands on it, a down-and-out route, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone.
1st and goal from our 10, Quinn Gray punches it in from 10 yards out, and we're knotted at 7-all.
Well, it was a quarterback draw, which we had practiced on, but he's a big, powerful runner, and it seemed like once he got his momentum going, he was hard to bring down.
Our very next possession, we pick it up 1st and 10 from our 31, Terrence Levy, again to Devin Lewis, this time not quite as long, only 19 yards.
Well, it was a down and out pattern to Lewis. The defensive back was giving us the soft underneath coverage, so we did a good job of hitting that.
5 plays later, Al Trevion Joubert hooks up with Terrence for 12 yards and a 1st down.
Well, Al's been having a fine year. He made a one-handed catch coming out the side, and once he got his hands on the ball, he was able to run with it.
2 plays later, Torrey Ingram from Terrence Levy, 10 yards and the TD.
Well, Torrey gets a chance to come into the football game, and once he gets in, he doesn't get many opportunities. Once he got his hands on the ball, he made a fine move and was in the end zone.
14-7 at that point. We move to our next possession. 1st and 10 from our 31. Terrence picks up 28 yards, but unfortunately fumbles.
Well, he was scrambling around. It was a quarterback draw wedge, which we had called, and he was in the into the secondary, and all of a sudden the individual stripped him from behind.
Pickup action, 14 all. We come back 2nd and 19 from the 11. Terrence finds Michael Hayes for 40 yards.
Mike has been having an unusual year, and of course he's one-on-one on the backside. Anytime Terrence gets an opportunity to get him the football, he does a fine job of catching it.
2 plays later, 2nd and 10 from the FAM 49, Terrence to Nemesis Bates for 49 yards.
Well, Bates is a specialist, and especially on kickoff returns. We had an opportunity to get him in the game one-on-one in the outside, and he's a sprinter. Once he received the ball, it was just a race to the end zone.
1st quarter ends 20-14 our way. FAM ends their first drive of the 2nd quarter with a field goal from Juan Vasquez.
Well, they drove down the field, and Nunley was making some fine catches, and they also have a fine field goal kicker, and he made that field goal for him.
Trailing 24-20, we come back. Terrence Levy hooks up with Michael Hayes, this time for 60 yards.
Well, Mike is down and running that down and out route, and he got into the secondary, and once he received the football, he's hard to load to bring down.
We missed the 2-point conversion, so at that point we lead by 2, 26-24. On our next possession, Terrence Levy goes again to Devin Lewis, this time a beauty for 49 yards.
Well, Lewis is running that crossing route. They're doubling on the outside with Hayes, and anytime we have an opportunity to get him one-on-one with a linebacker, we try to take advantage of it.
Terrence Levy, 3 plays later, looks for and finds Michael Hayes for 19 yards and the TD.
Well, Mike again was one-on-one on the outside with the defensive back, and he's 6'4", and anytime we can get that matchup, we're going to take advantage of it.
33-24 at that point. We move to the ensuing possession. 2nd and 7 from the 36. Quinn Gray finds DeMar Bowe for 31 yards to our 33.
Well, it was down in the inside on the safety, made a move on him, it was wide open.
Dog Day D rises to the occasion 3 plays in a row at the end of this drive. First of all, Quinn Gray finds DeMar Bowe for 2 yards to our 2-yard line.
Well, it was a down and in on the defensive back, a play action pass, and all of a sudden he was standing in the secondary.
Next play, Big Mo and Antonio Mays combined to stop Quinn Gray for no gain at the 2.
Well, he's a big running back, about 250 pounds, and he's a load. As long as you keep him running sideways, you got a chance to bring him down for no gain.
One of the great defensive plays of the game to cap off that drive, 4th and goal from the 2. O.J. Marchbank stopped by Cody Robinson.
Well, it was down, they drove it down to about the 2-yard line, and all of a sudden they went the option to the outside. The defensive back did a fine job of bringing him down to save that touchdown.
Second quarter ends 33-24, and as we catch our breath, we take a quick commercial break and come back with more highlights on the Coach Pete Richardson Show.
I'm attorney Tony Clayton. I've tried a number of cases right here in this courthouse. I've probably tried more cases in the last 10 years than most lawyers have tried their entire career. I'm not afraid of a courtroom, and I'm not afraid to try your case before a jury, which means that insurance companies either offer you a fair settlement or we go to trial. My area of practice is personal injury. If you've been seriously injured, give me a call at 344-7000 for a free consultation. You will receive prompt, professional, and personal attention from me and my staff. And remember, at the Clayton Law Firm, we'll be with you every step of the way.
Ride on CTC, we're here to get you there. We're here to get you there. Your city bus can take you anywhere. When you don't fight traffic, the difference is huge. We're the transportation for Baton Rouge. Ride on CTC, we're here to get you there.
Southern University alumni, faculty, and students, you can take the yard to the web thanks to SU Jags Online. That's right, SU Jags Online is the official internet service provider of the Southern University National Alumni Federation. You can communicate with long-lost classmates, get financial information, news, entertainment, and weather. Follow Jaguar Sports Live and so much more all online at SU Jags Online. Go to www.sujagsonline.net and subscribe today.
People who don't have an Allstate agent, who do they turn to?
In Baton Rouge, see Agnes Andrews at 1200 South Acadian Thruway, Suite 217. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. We are on location at the Fox and Hound Pub and Grill on Corporate Boulevard. As promised, many more highlights, so without any further ado, let's get started. Coach, first play of the second half, Quinn Gray, Junius Marco hookup for 73 yards and a touchdown.
Well, it was right after halftime, and we came out, and safety went for an interception and missed it, and there he had a big play for FAM.
That brought the tally to 33-31 Jaguars at that point, but we storm right back on our next possession. The ensuing kickoff, Linian Nesbitt kicks it 65 yards, Nemesis Bates runs it back 46.
Well, Bates has been doing a fine job in those kickoff returns. Of course, the blocking has been excellent, and he was able to break through, and he has fine speed.
8 plays later, we pick it up 3rd and 5 from the FAM 15. Terrence Levy finds Michael Hayes for 11 yards for 1st and goal.
Well, it's one of our slant moves that Mike went down inside. He was singled and made a great catch.
2 plays later, 2nd and goal from the 4. Dane Lewis punches it in for the touchdown.
I think Dane had a great football game. He was running hard inside. We needed that yardage to rush and open up our passing game.
The point after was good, and we're back on top by 9, 40-31. The ensuing kickoff, we get a turnover. Francisco kicks it off, and Travian Turner coughs it up.
Well, it was a kickoff. He came down. It was a great hit on that. Then all of a sudden, the ball was laying on the ground.
Unfortunately, Coach, we give it right back, 3rd and 6 from the 21. Terrence Levy picked off by Darnell Vickers.
Well, we tried to fade route to Hayes on the outside, and the ball was underthrown, and they came up with a great interception for Pham.
Pham makes the most of it. 8 plays into the ensuing drive. We pick it up 1st and 10 from our 31. Quinn Gay to O.J. Marchbanks for 14 yards.
We're doubling on the outside, so they send the running back down and out, and he was wide open. I think Marchbanks made a fine catch, and it was down deep in our territory.
2 plays later, Quinn Gray picks up 11 yards for another Rattler first down.
Well, I think at that time we were still doubling on the outside. We didn't have a great defensive line pass rush, and he came out running with the football.
3 plays later, O.J. Marchbanks punches it in for 6.
Well, it was just another, they went the option to the left side, and we missed the option man. Marchbanks did a fine job of getting in the end zone.
40-38 at that point. We move to our next possession. 6 plays in, 3rd and 11 from the 40. Terrence finds Elvis Joseph for 36.
Well, it was a play down the middle of the field. They were doubling on the outside with receivers, so we decided to send the running back down the middle, and Elvis made a great catch.
Unfortunately, we come away empty-handed. 5 plays later, Justin Mattingly cannot connect from 36 out.
That seemed to have been our nemesis all year. We missed a field goal deep in our territory, and it really cost us.
Rattlers come back on their next possession. 3 plays in, 3rd and 6 from their own 38. Quinn Gray picks up 24 yards on the ground.
Well, it was a down and out move on the outside. We were doubling on the outside. The line opened up the inside, and he came out running, did a fine job of running with the football.
Next play, 1st and 10 from the 38. Jockway Nunley, 26 yards and another first down.
Well, it seemed like Jock was coming from every place. They put him on the outside, they put him on the wing. He was even running back and did a great job at all positions.
They cap off that drive 4 plays later with a Juan Guasquez field goal from 22 out.
Well, we detained them, and all of a sudden they came in and kicked a field goal from that point.
3rd quarter ends 41-40. Rattlers, our first possession of the 4th quarter. Lee Smith punches it in from a yard out to put us back on top.
Well, we drove down the field, and we put Lee in the game, and all of a sudden we ran the belly play inside and did a great job of getting over.
2-point conversion fails. We settle for a 46-41 lead, but Pham comes right back. 4 plays into the drive, Quinn Gray finds Jockway Nunley for 27 yards.
Well, it was a long down and out, and Jock did a fine job of getting to the outside, and once he's on the outside, he becomes a running back.
Isaac Brown punches it in from 5 yards out to put the Rattlers up 47-46. Our next possession, Troy Williams comes in to spell Terrence Levy. He finds Michael Hayes for 17 yards to our 40.
Well, we inserted Troy in the game. Levy, that foot was bothering him at that time, and they were dropping 8 people in the secondary, so we decided to put Troy in because we wanted to run our quarterback.
6 plays later, 4th and 2 from the 41 of the Rattlers. Dane Lewis rushes for 21.
Well, I think with that play action pass early in the game, it opened up that run for Dane on the outside, and it was a little soft, and he was able to get to the flank.
6 plays later, this time Justin Mattingly is good from 18 for the field goal.
Well, he drove it down, and time was beginning to run out, so we decided to go for the field goal, and we hit the 3 points.
Up by 2, 49-47. Pham gets their final possession. We pick it up 3rd and 8 from their own 48. Quinn Gray to Jockway Nunley, 14 yards and the first down.
Well, we're doubling on the outside, and Jock found the opening down in the middle, and he was able to hit him with the football.
3 plays later, Quinn rushes for 19 yards and another first down.
Well, he's a big, strong running back, and, defense was getting a little tired, and he's hard to bring down once he gets started.
And our final play, Juan Vasquez, the game winner from 29 yards out.
Well, it was an important kick for him, and they got it in place, and they kicked a fine field goal.
When we come back, we've got our weekly special edition, Around the SWAC, that and much, much more when the Coach Pete Richardson Show continues.
There's a place where you can go and join the celebration called Fun Fever. Fun Fever, Rouge Fun Fever. Come to where the action's hot, the sights, the sounds, the tastes, it's called Fun Fever. Fun Fever, Rouge Fun Fever. Shake your body, it's a party every day. Feel it in the air, Fun Fever's here to stay. Fun Fever, get to the Rouge.
On Monday, it was an eternity away. By Thursday, you could almost taste it. The weekend, filled with possibilities and, oh yeah, projects. Nobody knows where you'd rather be more than True Value. We get you in and out fast with just what you need. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value.
Acadian True Value, serving Baton Rouge for over 25 years. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations.
Now that's what I call fan noise.
Welcome back to the Fox and Hound Pub and Grill on Corporate Boulevard for week 11 of the Coach Pete Richardson Show. As we alluded to right before the last commercial break, it is time for our weekly segment that we affectionately call Around the Swag. Coach, no big surprise, Grambling State 20-2 winners over Alabama State.
Well, that was a tough game for Grambling. It was their homecoming. They're going against Alabama State. They're fighting it out for conference championship. In that game, I think the weather had a deciding factor in that football game. Alabama State could not throw the football in Grambling. They grounded on them and were able to come out on top.
The woes at Alcorn State University continue, 12-3 losers to Mississippi Valley.
Well, Alcorn is having a dreadful year as far as trying to score points. Defensively, they've always been tough on defense, but offensively, they're struggling at this time.
No big surprise here. Arkansas Pine Bluff 32-13 winners over Prairie View.
Well, Arkansas Pine Bluff have a fine running football team. I think their running back went for about 230 yards in that football game, have a big offensive line, and of course they just dominated that game.
Probably the thriller of the week in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Jackson State, Alabama A&M, the Blue Bengals, NOT 34-28 winners.
Well, I knew that was going to be a shootout in that football game. Anytime Jackson is playing at home and Alabama A&M is in that time, they were fighting for a spot at the championship, and the game went overtime in a situation where they took it and it was back and forth, and Jackson came out on top.
And finally, Morris Brown in a surprise 24-13 winners over our next opponent, Texas Southern.
That was a surprise game. I thought that Texas Southern was on the roll. They were 7-1 at this time. They're coming into our game on the high, and in that football game, Morris Brown is a very physical type football game. Offensively, they can throw the football. Defensively, they could match up, and they're physical on defense, so they made it a tough time for Texas Southern.
Looking ahead to this week's schedule, we are the lone evening game. All of the others in the SWAC conference are day games this week. Mississippi Valley at Alabama State.
Well, that's going to be a good football game. I think Alabama State have to win out in order to have a chance to get in the championship. Of course, Mississippi Valley has a fine running game, and they're having trouble trying to stop the run.
30 minutes after that 1 o'clock kickoff at 1:30, Alcorn State at Alabama A&M.
Well, that also should be an exciting football game. Of course, Alcorn is tough on defense, and Alabama A&M can throw the football.
New Haven at Jackson State in a 1:30 kickoff at Mississippi's Memorial Stadium.
I think that game is going to surprise some people because New Haven has a fine offense. They can throw the football and score, and it'll be back and forth in that game.
And to round it out with a 2 p.m. kickoff, Lane pays a visit to Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Well, I think Arkansas Pine Bluff is going to be playing at home, and I think they lost their opening game, so they'll be excited about trying to get in the winner's bracket.
Let's turn our immediate attention now to the business at hand. Of course, the Tigers of Texas Southern coming into Mumford Stadium. What can we expect to see offensively and defensively from TSU?
Well, I think TSU is going to be excited about coming to our place and play. They're going to be fired up. They lost an opportunity to try to get into the championship game, but Coach Thomas always have his team ready to play when they play us, especially defensively. They're real tough on defense. I think they're leading our conference in defense, and they're going to be man-to-man, going to be blitzing back and forth. Offensively, he's changed his philosophy. Most of the time, they're going to run the football. You got a new offensive coordinator, and they're throwing the football around with 3 and 4 wideouts, so they're going to make it exciting.
SWAC championship, the western half is pretty much decided already. Your outlook as far as the remainder of the schedule and the eastern chances?
Well, I think that when you look at Alabama State and Alabama A&M, Alabama State has to win out. I think they have Mississippi Valley this week, and it'll be a big game for them, but I think that they can come out on top in that game, and if they can do that, then they have a chance to get into the championship game.
There is still more to come from the Fox and Hound Pub and Grill on Corporate Boulevard. Stay with us. You're watching The Coach Pete Richardson Show.
Even in good times, the needs of Louisiana's communities don't disappear, and sometimes their challenges can seem overwhelming. That's why Bank One Louisiana contributes more than $10,000 a day to education, medical research, the arts, and countless charitable organizations across our state. And it's why our employees devote thousands of hours to causes they believe in. We do it because some things just can't be done alone, and we think it's important to help restore the balance.
I'm attorney Tony Clayton. I've tried a number of cases right here in this courthouse. I've probably tried more cases in the last 10 years than most lawyers have tried their entire career. I'm not afraid of a courtroom, and I'm not afraid to try your case before a jury, which means that insurance companies either offer you a fair settlement or we go to trial. My area of practice is personal injury. If you've been seriously injured, give me a call at 344-7000 for a free consultation. You will receive prompt, professional, and personal attention from me and my staff. And remember, at the Clayton Law Firm, we'll be with you every step of the way.
Southern University alumni, faculty, and students, you can take the yard to the web thanks to SU Jags Online. That's right, SU Jags Online is the official internet service provider of the Southern University National Alumni Federation. You can communicate with long-lost classmates, get financial information, news, entertainment, and weather. Follow Jaguar Sports Live and so much more, all online at SU Jags Online. Go to www.sujagsonline.net and subscribe today.
When you get a few tickets or accidents, some insurance companies don't want you anymore. With an Allstate agent, you can still get a second chance.
For a second chance on your auto insurance, see Agnes Andrews at 1200 South Acadian Thruway, Suite 217. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. We are on location at the Fox and Hound Pub and Grill on Corporate Boulevard. Coach putting up 49 points. Unfortunately, you come away with the loss, but obviously we've got to award a top choice offensive player of the week.
I think offensively, we had the finest outpoint up to this time offensively, but I think Michael Hayes did a great job as far as catching the football. You're talking about over 200 yards. The second week in a row, he had the opportunity to do that. I can see improvement in that individual each week.
Is it scary to think, as good as he is now, you see him steadily improving week after week?
I think so. You know, going into next year, if he gets a little bigger and stronger, which he will do, he's catching the ball. He's on a rate now of probably on All-American type statistics.
We are going to vary just a little bit this week and award a top choice special teams player of the week.
I think Nemesis Bates had a fine special teams, returning those kickoffs, giving us great field position. Also, he had an opportunity to play a little on offense, and he caught a pass, and once he received it in his hands, it was just a run to the end zone, and I knew he was gone.
Injury-wise, how did we come out of this particular contest? We knew heading in that Byron Hurst was going to be questionable. Did we pick up any additional injuries?
Well, I think one of our defensive backs, Marlon Alexander, was on crutches today. He'll probably be gone for the year. Also, Frank Gibson, another defensive back, had an ankle problem. And of course, Mays went down in that game also. But it seems like everyone on defense has been down maybe one time this year with some type of injury.
There was a real notable occasion in this particular game, and of course it came, unfortunately, for the other team. Jacquay Nunley broke the long-standing NC2A record of probably the greatest receiver to ever lace up a pair of sneakers, Jerry Rice.
Well, you look at Nunley, he's a fine receiver. He's going after a record, Jerry Rice, which he achieved in that game. A lot of his passes are flat-type passes. He was a previous running back in high school, and once he gets that ball on the outside, he can make exciting plays and moves, and he's doing a fine job. You're looking at a great football player. Hopefully you get a chance to see him on the next level.
Psychologically, what was the mood of the team when you left practice following that heartbreaking one-point loss?
Surprisingly, they knew that we were in a good football game. The spirits of our football team was up. I think we had an excellent practice today. We can win the next couple games. They know that. Anytime you go into a year and you lose football games by 1 point or 3 points and play here or play there, we're in all those games. So, you know, I think if our goal is to finish up strong, I think with that, we can do that with this football team. The spirits are up. We're ready to go.
When we come back, we will wrap up this week's edition of the Coach Pete Richardson Show. Stay with us.
There's a place where you can go to join the celebration called Fun Fever. Come to where the action's hot, the sights, the sounds, the tastes, it's called Fun Fever. Shake your body, it's a party every day. Feel it in the air, Fun Fever's here to stay. Fun Fever,
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value.
Acadian True Value, serving Baton Rouge for over 25 years. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations.
Right on CTC, we're here to get you there. We're here to get you there. Your city bus can take you anywhere. When you don't fight traffic, the difference is huge. We're the transportation for Baton Rouge. Right on CTC, we're here to get you there.
Wouldn't you love a sunroof in your car? How about a simulated convertible top or rich supple leather seats? Maybe a television entertainment system for those road trips. Tops Unlimited is the only name to know for automotive aftermarket accessories. Custom grills, ground effects, and rear spoilers. Wood grain dash kits, convertible top replacement, and more. It's all available at Tops Unlimited, serving Baton Rouge for over 18 years. Located at 11311 Cedar Park Avenue off Segan Lane. Our business is Tops.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. We are on location at the Fox and Hound Pub and Grill on Corporate Boulevard. Joining me on the set for our final segment this week is Sports Information Director Kevin Manns for the Jaguars. Kevin, first of all, welcome. And I understand there's a very special event going on at Mumford Stadium this weekend.
That's true. This weekend, Southern University football, along with the American Football Coaches Association, will be giving out free National Child Identification Kits to parents at this week's game. And it's a way for parents to fingerprint their children and have a copy of their child's fingerprint stored in their own home.
Also, another special event, something related to the seniors going on this week?
Yes, this is the final home game played in A.W. Mumford Stadium for our outgoing seniors. This senior class has been a special class. They've been a part of, winning 3 championships in a row. So we have a special game program that I don't think has been done in a long time, featuring just the seniors on the cover. And I think the fans should rally out this week, come out and support the Jags as we take on Texas Southern so we can finish this season out strong.
This time of season, you obviously earn your money, that transition period from one sport into the other. How tough has it been so far in the inaugural season for you?
It's been a little tough, just in the simple fact that once I moved from my other school, I came straight into work here. Matter of fact, our basketball season kicked off last night. Our women lost in an exhibition game, 100-98, but our men play at home this weekend at the F.G. Clark Activity Center, 7 o'clock p.m. on Friday night versus Vassar USA.
Well, regardless of the outcome, football, basketball, or baseball, we look to see you, same time, same station, next week for another edition of the Coach Pete Richardson Show.